The dozens of gongs handed out this year, it comes as no surprise that Taika Waititi is among them. He's now an officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit. Who doesn't want to talk to Taika these days? Star Wars, Jojo Rabbit, Marvel, New Zealander of the Year. He's A-list Hollywood, he's Māori as, and he's ours. Our executive producer and Taika's longtime friend Bailey Mackey spoke with him about this latest honour and so much more.
So, kia ora, joining me now is this guy, Taika Waititi. Actually, I was going to begin with congratulations, but there was like 12 pages of things to congratulate me for. So,
yeah, I hate that word now.
but actually, I thought I'd start by just going back sort of 2 or 3 months to the Oscars, and the moment they announced that he'd won Best Adapted Screenplay. Taika Waititi. What's that like, bro?
From what I can remember, it was really stressful. I have a feeling that the announcer didn't even go through didn't even like say the names of the nominees. I think she skipped that bit and just went, "Oh, Taika won it," and then that was like, "Oh," so to kind of get it. It was quite sort of having it all happen faster than I thought it was going to.
One of the things I know that really kind of resonated back home here was, I guess, your acknowledgement of Indigenous storytellers.
I dedicate this to all the Indigenous kids in the world who want to do art and dance and write stories. We are the original storytellers.
I think if there's anything genuine that I wanted to impart on that night, it would have been to thank my mum and also to just to acknowledge that, you know, when I was growing up, it wouldn't have been a very popular thing to announce that you wanted to be an actor or a dancer. Definitely, that would have been weird.
I don't think I can do this.
Russ? Of course you can.
Or, or a filmmaker or anything. I mean, the film industry was pretty small back then when I was a kid. I don't know if anyone would have known what directing was. And, it felt important to me to sort of just acknowledge that right now there are kids out there who may feel a little bit weird about, this idea of going into the arts, even though it's a bit more accepted these days, which is great. But, I feel like it's encouraging the youth to do one of those things that isn't necessarily considered a normal or a stable career path is totally cool.
I want to talk a little bit about Star Wars. You've been handed the keys to one of film's biggest franchises. How did that all come about?
No idea, mate.
Action.
I had a good opportunity to do that show, The Mandalorian, that Jon Favreau started. It definitely helped solidify, I think, their interest and also my interest in that world, because coming in after that many films and that, that thing is so established, it's quite difficult to figure out if you can do something original, something that that feels like its own thing. Still don't know yet. Maybe so it's very early. I haven't nowhere near close to having an idea yet.
Yeah, good.
You've been recognised for your services to film, ONZ, and
how many letters are in that? ONZMB. What is it? ONZ.
Four letters.
MB.
ABC.
DX3. RX7.
Yeah.
3PO. Services to film. Well, yours this. I mean, look at you, Bailey. Is that one of my awards back there on your windowsill?
Probably. Actually, you know what? It's Best Lifestyle Show for Pity's Tiki Tour. So,
there's another one back there, I think there's one back there, like a film award from those old film awards designs.
No, this is not one of yours. This is one of mine. But
okay.
Can I tell a quick story? You left 7 awards in a bar one night in Auckland.
Yeah.
So,
well, once you win them, why do you have to carry them around?
Yep.
I don't really know how all this stuff works, like who puts you on this list. I assume the Queen isn't the one who's going, well, for my birthday, I want to make a list of people. I think a younger version of me would have not really thought much of this kind of thing, because I always see these lists now and then, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what does that even mean? And then, but now that I'm getting one, it's more important. But I'm a little less cynical these days. So, like, you know, I feel like there's something pretty cool about this idea of, and it's again more just being celebrated with other New Zealanders. It's our little list. That's cool. And so it's quite meaningful in that way. And like, well, also I miss home. So, like, you know, to have to get to do an interview with you, Bailey, is it's almost like being
highlight.
The biggest things I miss are from home. Kaimoana for sure, but it's like a lot of things that just doesn't taste the same over here. Some of the food over here is pretty yuck when it's compared to home. Some of the other things, I mean, a lot of people, and just like when I come home and I see you in person, it only takes about 10 minutes, and then I don't miss you anymore. And like another few months without having to talk to you.
How do you handle it all, bro? How do you cope with everything? Like, you got so many.
I'm into naps. I try and do lots of napping. I've always done that. Whenever I get down about how much stuff I've got to do, I'm always like, it's your own fault. You should have known. Actually, I'm getting better at saying no now. It seems like I know I give off the impression I just say yes to everything. I'm getting really good at saying no to things. I couldn't say no to this because I wouldn't hear the end of it. But I've been doing a lot of other interviews, Bailey.
Hey, but last question, bro, just from my son, Te Ramaroro. He's really keen. Could you get us a lightsaber?
Yeah, you mean like a real one?
A real one, like with a Ngāti Porou East Coast sky blue sword thingy part, laser part?
Yeah. Right. And so it's just another thing I'm saying yes to, so that's fine.
Taika Waititi with Bailey Mackey there.